friends, it's Tess, this is Wander Wealthy, and today I am going to share some reasons why you might not want to participate in a no-spend challenge. It's kind of a weird topic for a video because we are actually smack dab in the middle of a no-spend challenge, and even if you're getting to these videos after the challenge has officially been over, you've probably seen other videos of mine that talk about doing a no-spend challenge and why it can be really great. But today I wanted to focus on why sometimes it might not be the best idea for you, or really kind of spin it on its head and explain what a no-spend challenge is not, at least from my perspective and the way that I teach financial and money management and better spending habits and behaviors, and how sometimes you can use but abuse a no-spend challenge and it can actually take you down the wrong path. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little bell, especially if you love to see videos all about personal finance and ways that you can better manage your money, as well as personal development, and if you're curious, get on the road and get a little bit of tips and tricks on how you can afford to travel. Okay, so the first reason why you might not want to participate in a no-spend challenge is if you have somewhat of an addictive or OCD personality, or you've struggled with obsessive behavior in the past. I am not a licensed therapist or psychologist or anything of the sort, so you really do need to seek professional opinion on this. But if you know that you can get a little bit obsessive or addictive, or just kind of in this disordered way of approaching things, especially things that challenge you to restrict yourself, then this might not be a good option for you. No-spend challenges are fun to do, but sometimes we can get a little obsessed with not spending money, and that can lead to making some pretty bad decisions when it comes to taking care of yourself. So this is tricky, but I always say, you know yourself best. Really understand your own money habits as well as your own emotional stability of being able to deal with things like this, because it does happen. Sometimes we get so obsessed with saving money that it's hard for us to see that pot of savings dip, and then we can get into even more trouble because we're not using our savings for the things that we've saved them for. The same can go with a spending challenge. You might get so obsessed with not spending money that you start to live on less and less and less, which has its perks. I mean, minimalism can be a very good way to practice intentional living, but sometimes it can go a little too far, and then we're not really enjoying what life has provided for us to enjoy. Okay, the second reason you may not want to participate in a no-spend challenge seems very counterintuitive, and that is if you have a real spending problem and you're trying to reverse that spending problem. Reason is that participating in a no-spend challenge can be good for you if you approach it in the right way, meaning that you really take an intuitive and mindfulness approach to not spending. Not in the way where you're not going to spend and then at the end of the spending challenge you're going to splurge, because that's not the point. That's a lot like crash dieting. If you're trying to maintain this healthy and sustainable weight by the end of a diet, that can be really difficult for people who crash diet and starve themselves, and then things just reverse once they cross that finish line. If you really do have a spending problem, then it's better to take the slow and steady route. And if you do want to do a no-spend challenge, maybe practice cutting out one thing at a time, and then you can kind of work your way more comfortably into a potential no-spend challenge where you really work on that mindfulness and intuitive nature of the no-spend challenge. The reason I talk about this is that for me and for my audience, I really want the no-spend challenge to be a lot more of a mindfulness exercise rather than a way to literally not spend money anymore, because not spending money isn't actually sustainable. Yes, it's a sustainable thing to do for a month, and that's why we do it to practice that self-awareness and figure out what our priorities are. But if you have a real problem that you need to reverse, sometimes it can be better to go slow and steady and ease your way out of spending things and recognizing those spending triggers bit by bit or step by step. And the third and final reason you may not want to participate in a no-spend challenge is if you have some legitimate saving or debt reduction goals. And when I say legitimate, I really mean they're just really big numbers that you're trying to hit. Because yes, doing a no spend challenge could potentially save you money, but it's not going to get you super close to even achieving that goal. And I would much rather have you help yourself by building habits on becoming more aware of the things that you spend money on that maybe you don't need to spend money on, but then still enjoying your money and spending money on the things that you do love and prioritize. I know this might not make a lot of sense, but when you want to get into having a sustainable budget and a sustainable money saving routine, you really need to figure out what's going to work for you every single month. And to be honest, speaking personally, it's not sustainable for me to do a no spend month every single month of the year. That's not going to allow me to enjoy actually hitting some of my savings goals or getting some of my debt significantly paid off. What's going to make me enjoy that is finding something that's sustainable and that I can balance treating myself but also making sure I'm funding these goals or paying down that debt. Now, this isn't to say if you are in the middle of the no spend challenge to completely stop. If you recognize some of these aspects about yourself, then note them, but continue on your challenge and try to really focus on that mindfulness piece and really understanding what it is you spend money on that maybe you don't need to be spending money on anymore. For me, that's what the challenge is all about, so that those lessons that you get doing the no spend challenge can roll over into your regular every single monthly budget, and then you can apply them so that you can have a more sustainable monthly budget that will get you towards these goals and will help you with any spending problems that you have. Now, if getting a really awesome sustainable budget is something that you are interested in, then I highly recommend you check out my anti-budget methodology. I have a free training that you can get the free downloads and a weekly tracker to keep pace with your anti-budget and learn what it's all about in the first place. I created the anti-budget because all the budgeting apps and other types of methodologies just weren't working for me. They weren't working for my life or my lifestyle, the way that I wanted to live, the way that I wanted to budget. And so I created the anti-budget to be a lot more fun, a little bit more hands-on, but also to gamify the system, to see yourself achieving and approaching and making progress towards your goals, and also have a little treat at the end of it all. Or if it's up to me, every single month. You have nothing to lose by trying out the anti-budget and getting into the training because it is free. Just go to wanderwealthy.com/anti-budget and you can get right in and get your free downloads. The purpose I do what I do, the reason I create the products and the trainings and even these videos is to show you how managing your money and building a financial future that is thrivable is doable. And it can also be enjoyable, and it doesn't mean that you need to deprive yourself or that you need to scrape all of the money that you have away and not actually live a life today. Because what's the point of saving for you to enjoy your money someday when someday may never come? Not to get too morbid on y'all. And that's kind of the whole point. Doing a no spend challenge is a lot of fun. It can be a really good learning experience, but it's not for everyone, and it may not be for everyone right now. I wanted to make this video to show you a little bit about what a no spend challenge is not for. So I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Of course, remember to subscribe to my channel if you like these kinds of videos. If you have any questions about the no spend challenge, go ahead and pop them down in the comment section. All of the resources I ever mention on the videos are down in the description box or the down bar if you're watching on the app. And until I see you next time, I hope you wander wealthy.